105.5.
Welcome to Real Deal Sports Show, everybody. Saturday morning, each and every Saturday morning, talking sports of all sorts from the Rock Prom Boca Studios. The Radman here with you, and we ready to get it in. Seems like there is never a down week in sports. That's for sure. And let's get right to the Radman rants. And we're going to get right to it, the Radman rants. And I told you his ass should have been ran after the 13-second game. Everybody knew it. You should have fired his ass. The guy should have been gone. You get a lead with 13 seconds left. How do you lose the game? How do you lose the game? How do you lose the fight? Baseball's back, and guess what? Benches are clearing already. Usually you don't see a bench clearing brawl the first week or 2 weeks into the season, but we saw it earlier this week out in California. It was a good setup for boxing. They could have put a boxing ring up because Jorge Soler, the designated hitter for the Los Angeles Angels, he was off to a hot start. He's used to hitting off of Ronaldo Lopez. He had already hit a home run off of him. The next time up, he gets hit with the ball. And then, according to the third time up, he asked the pitcher, "Are you all right?" And the pitcher, I guess Jorge Soler didn't like what he said. And next thing you know, he dropped the bat. And, man, it put a beautiful boxing stance. You can tell I got to ask Don Patterson later, but maybe this guy, man, he put a good boxing stance there, came up to the mound, and next thing you know, they were throwing, man. They were scrapping. Soler hit the guy, hit the pitcher, Ronaldo Lopez. Lopez backhands him. But the unique thing about it is the head coach of the Atlanta Braves is a martial arts expert as well. And he went in low and tackled Jorge Soler, tackled him and brought him to the ground to help squash the fight where Lopez had an idea of trying to come in there.
Hey, wait a minute, what the hell?
Lopez tried to jump in there, and Mike Trout grabbed him and said, "No, don't you dare do that while the guy on the ground. You ain't going to get your stuff off now. You should have got yours off before when my man started swinging off on you. That's when was the time for you to drop the baseball and start swinging." But it was an interesting fight. And the interesting as well is Jorge Soler used to be a member of the Atlanta Braves, so the Atlanta Braves players all knew him, and they were surprised that an altercation like this broke out between him and Lopez. It was an interesting fight, and the manager of the Atlanta Braves tackling them, coming in. He's almost 60 years old, came in low and tackled Jorge Soler. If you get a chance, check it out on YouTube. Check out the action. It was a hell of a confrontation. They both were ejected from the game. At that point, they decided to say, "Hey, you're both out of here." But I thought the pitcher didn't really do anything wrong. I thought the pitcher could have stayed, but I guess when the fight broke out and the guy swung off on him, man, he had the baseball. The pitcher had the baseball in his hand and backhanded the guy with the baseball in his hand, man. I was like, man, I hadn't seen that move done before, man. That man, he wouldn't let go of that baseball. I tell you, that baseball was his best friend for Ronaldo Lopez. Baseball's off to a flying start. The Angels playing decent. The Dodgers, man, they picking up right where they left off from winning the World Series. Came into Toronto for a rematch with a World Series rematch. Took 2 of the 3 games from the Blue Jays. Blue Jays already have a pitcher out for the season with arm trouble. Several injuries. The catcher, Orlando Kirk, we're missing him, broke his thumb a couple weeks ago. He's going to be out a few weeks. So the Jays are dealing with some early season injuries, and they got to get their bat started. At least they won last night over the Minnesota Twins 10-4. Yankees red hot 8-2 right now. You know it's early in the season. That must mean Aaron Judge hitting home runs right now because it's the regular season, early in the season. Hey, Aaron Judge and those cats off to a great start. We'll see when the pressure comes on later in the season. Can Aaron Judge redeem himself? Can he redeem himself?
But about Aaron Judge there, Radman, I just have to ask if the beef between Lopez and Soler, this is something that's been building up mostly on Lopez's side. Why? Even though they were teammates, man, Soler has been taking that ball and bringing it out the park, man. He's been heading off of this cat. He even did it earlier in that same game. But that one thing I'm not a fan of when it comes to baseball, because you want to be able to have your best players on the field. Man, he threw that ball high and inside. Come on. Yeah. You're the money maker. But, I jest, but still. And then they had to stare down after that. Because when you bring that ball high and inside like that, that means problems. He's
Yes.
mad that he keeps taking that ball out the park. It was a stare down. The dude Lopez came up towards the mound and said, "What, you want some?" So Soler said, "All right, I'll bring it then." And that's when they got the tussling. You saw, like you said, you saw some good haymakers, man. And some of our guests, I wish we may play the video so they could see the technique that they had. But come on, you didn't think Lopez was gonna get suspended? I mean, he hit the dude in the face with the baseball in his hand, knocking the helmet off of his face.
Yes,
Straight
he did.
haymakers, man, were being thrown. But I will say the best surprise, I think the Buffalo Bills may need to get that manager. Was it Mr. Wise to come on over and show how you do a proper tackle, man? That's what we need to see there. Okay?
Especially for DeMar Hamlin, if he's gonna try to stay in the league, man, that was a textbook tackle. That man, and that man just 60 years old, man. I couldn't believe it. I said, man, he 60 years old. You guys see the film, guys. I mean, he came in, he went in low, he went in between a couple of players, so the guy couldn't see him coming. And man, I mean, just racked him up, man. Perfect wrap up, picked him up, bam, dropped him, and landed right on top of him, man. But textbook NFL tackle or
the Atlanta Falcons did say they wanted to reach out to that Braves manager Walt Weiss. They said, "Hey, man, we may have to end up bringing you there, do a tryout just to practice a little bit, just to show off some of the technique." I'm like, "Hey, man, wouldn't be something wrong there?" But that's one of those things where I wish they could be a little bit more strict on when it comes to baseball. I mean, like, but they knew that Soler has been able to take that ball out the park when it comes to Lopez. Did it earlier this game. You see tensions flaring. That's why I'm really looking when it comes to the umpires to stop and get in front of the guy, say, "No, don't do this," even though ultimately, no matter what, we all love a good fight. We all love a good brawl, man. But those are my thoughts. But I want to see there as well when it comes to J-GILLZ and Bro Talk. Remember, you guys, like, comment, and subscribe to the show. What is your guys' thoughts when it comes to this? Starting with you there, brother J-GILLZ.
Man, I think you hit the nail on the coffin right there, internet passport. Whenever you swinging haymakers and got the ball in your hand, that's going to be some grounds for a suspension, 10-fold. You know, whenever Radman get on these rants, you know, sometimes I'm listening, sometimes he's got a valid point today. He's doing a phenomenal job in dissecting the haymakers and the discombobulations that we saw over that game. So I can't disagree with you fellas. I can't. Bro talk to me.
No, I can't disagree either. I did think it was quite funny that the Bills and the Falcons catching strays early in the morning on a Saturday during baseball season. But yeah, I mean, I remember when I first saw the clip and saw Soler drop. You know what I mean? I'm like, man, you know, man, insult to injury. I mean, you don't let the man throw the ball high, you know what I mean, high and inside at your head, you know, and then you go out there to defend yourself and you get dropped. But then they showed he had the ball in his hand, and I'm like, that. So now it's like, you know, we need to let these two dudes, you know, get in the ring somewhere for real, because you throwing high heat at my wig, you know, and then you gonna take the same ball you just threw at my head and clock me in the mug with it. Like, come on, man. The league had to do something. They had to do something. And you know, all jokes aside, Lopez, I get it. You know what I mean? It's frustrating when somebody just has your number. Be a competitor, play the game the right way, and be better. You know what I mean? If you know, my dad used to say, if you don't like it, stop it. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Don't get mad about him scoring on you. Don't get mad about him taking you out the park. Stop it. You know what I mean? That's how you address. You know what I mean? You know, when you get to the point where you start doing underhanded stuff, little cheap, cheap stuff, that's a sign that, you know what I mean, you haven't the maturity to play at that level.
Absolutely. I agree with you on that one. That just shows you how that can take place. You got to be mature, grow and grow within yourself to be able to say, hey, next time, let me figure out some better pitches to get this guy out.
Exactly.
His coaches can help him, pitching coach and all that. Hopefully, can help him attain that goal.
Yes, sir.
All righty, and on there, we're gonna move into our next segment. The next segment was brought to you by, or this previous segment was brought to you by award-winning Miriam Rivera Insurance Agency, Auto, Home, Health, and Life Insurance, 1038 Lyle Avenue or 511 Bean Road, Suite B. Give her a call, 585-360-0094. Give Miriam a friend of the show. Almost time for those motorcycles and boats to come back out shortly. Hey, once we get through this last little bit over the hump, hey, if you got some toys you want to put out on the road or on the water, give our friend of the show, Miriam Rivera, an opportunity to get a free quote and get a chance to save you, like she saved the Radman and his crew, a hell of a lot of money. 585-360-0094. And we're going to move into J-GILLZ. We have our first guest of the day ready for us.
Absolutely. We got our first guest of the day. We have a two-time national Golden Gloves champion. We have the first woman in Rochester history to qualify for the U.S. Olympic team. You might have seen her with Terrence Crawford. You might have seen her with Clarissa Shields, but this morning, she's hanging with the Real Deal Sports Show. We got Rochester's very own Algeria Johnson in the building. Appreciate you for stopping through. Welcome to the Real Deal Sports Show.
Hi.
We got a lot going on, you know what I mean? We appreciate you for coming through. Talk to us about this upcoming fight. We got about 20 boxers headed to the Blue Cross Arena, headlined by you and several others. Talk to us a little bit about this fight and what we got coming up.
Okay, so this is going to be a big fight in Rochester. I'm on the card, and right now they're currently still looking for me an opponent. But next month, I will be fighting in the National Golden Gloves in Oklahoma. So that's a big tournament. And I'm bringing back that 4-time national championship.
Claiming it now. You're bringing it back. I know that's right. It's been there. You know, I'm gonna let my sports guys talk more about the about the sport now, everything like that. But you know, I ran into you doing the People's Choice Bike giveaway. You know, I always see you out in the community, always trying to emphasize the youth and the students and you know the young people here in Rochester. What does it mean to give back? And you know, being from this community, what does it mean that you having such a positive influence on this younger generation?
It means a lot because I know a lot of the younger generation look up to me, and for them to see someone who set an example and to actually be a part of something that, you know, where they have a chance to meet me and talk to me and, you know, be able to ask me things, I think that inspires them in whatever they do, whether it's sports or in school or whatever they want to attend to in life. Just seeing someone doing something positive and that they can look up to, I think that helps them in whatever goals that they have set for themselves.
I love it, man. The community, gentlemen.
Good morning, Miss Johnson, and congratulations on all the success and that you've had so far. A couple quick questions here. How did you get into boxing? Who introduced you?
Well, I actually got into boxing at 15. My mom brought me to the boxing gym after I had into a big fight in high school and it had went viral. And for a long time, I wanted to box, but she didn't put me into it until I got in a big fight. And that was like a sign for her, like, you know, she needs somewhere to like release her anger.
When you got in, did you ever see this being kind of, you know, something that you could make into a profession for yourself?
Yes, because I knew from the first day I went to the gym, I knew it was for me because I became obsessed with it. I always wanted to go to the gym. I used to stay in the gym for hours and I just couldn't wait for the next day to go to training. And when I first started, like I was already a fighter. So later down the line, I learned like the skills and how to box, the discipline that come with it, the mindset you need to have inside and outside the ring, because boxing is mostly a mental sport. So it's not all about you know, being tough sometimes. It's about having the mindset when those challenges come as well.
Awesome. Having that kind of, fighter's mentality, at the time that your mom introduced you to the sport, but seeing all the positive things and that you're doing in the community, and you're still so young. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, I know you're a grown woman, but still so young. You know, like, kind of how did you make that transition from kind of being someone who was, ready to fight, and now you're like, man, how can I now kind of give back to the community? What brought about that transition?
I think the transition came from knowing that God gave me a gift, and instead of me, you know, using my anger in a negative way, I found it to use it in a positive way. And that was boxing became my outlet. And I was never like the type of person like to start fights with people. I think more so
You
people,
just ended them.
yeah, I think it was people start with me and I finish it. So,
and you've been finishing ever since.
okay. And I'm going to keep finishing it in the ring though.
Absolutely. I got one more question. I'm gonna turn it over if somebody want to jump in, but the women's boxing. You know what I mean? Talk to us about kind of where how you feel about the sport. Claressa Shields, in terms of the the attention that she's been able to elevate the platform of women boxing to, and kind of where you see yourself fitting in and where you'd like to see the sport go.
Mm-hmm. Well, women's boxing now is going up and up, and I feel like this is a great time to be a woman in the sport because we have Jake who have MVP promotions, which is like where he signs a lot of women fighters, and we got Alicia Baumgartner. He signed Chantel Cameron, Sadeja Green. Those are a lot of upcoming women who can potentially share the ring with Claressa Shields. And right now, Claressa is the best to me, and second is Katie Taylor. So I feel like later along the line, I'm gonna have a chance to be in the ring with the best, and when it's my time, I'm gonna take over. But right now, I believe that Claressa is number one, and she's the best female right now. And she has the skills, the talent, but she also got a story, and that's what make me, look up to her and follow her footsteps because she was somebody who came from a rough background and made something out of nothing. So I really am inspired by her.
Listen, keep making something out of nothing. Keep being an amazing example to the youth in the community. Not only that you can be a top athlete from a place like Rochester, but that you can make the transition that you made from again, from being quick to fight to now quick to give back to the community.
Yes.
Jared, what did that you mentioned Claressa Shields? What did that pay-per-view? That was the first ever women's pay-per-view that took place a month or so ago in Detroit, Michigan, and it was viewed as a very successful pay-per-view. What does that mean to you to see two women headline their first ever women headline a pay-per-view boxing card?
It actually means a lot because ever since I was younger, I used to always see men fighting on TV, and I would rarely see the women. And I always wonder, like, why don't I see a lot of exposure when it comes to women fighting, even in MMA or whatever? I never seen a lot of women getting the shine. So to see a lot of people that even want to try boxing, because we got YouTube boxers out here, we got Jake Paul. We just got a lot of great fighters and a lot of great women fighters who can actually fight. So it means a lot, and it just shows that once it comes to my time, we won't have to struggle, to get the exposure how it was back then versus now. Like even in women's sports in general, I believe that we're showing that we can have more than just one thing to us. We can still be feminine. We can still fight. Like even in the male dominated world, like I feel like women's sports is just improving overall, even in basketball.
Yes, because even the WNBA, the women brand new contract, Radman in soccer. She just became the first woman to receive one of the highest pay, over $1 million contract in soccer and women's soccer. So it sounds like it's looking up like it's a great time to be a woman athlete.
Yes, I believe so.
Yes, it did. So you don't have a problem with the YouTubers? Do you consider them real athlete or real boxers or real athletes? The Jake Pauls, and then now you mentioned some female YouTubers out there. How
I feel about that is when it comes to Jake Paul, at first I didn't consider him as a real boxer, but now that he actually got a coach and he actually learning the fundamentals and taking the time to actually learn, I would consider him as a boxer now. Would I consider him as like an all-time great or anything? No, but he can work his way up there. But how I feel about YouTube fighters, I don't
Yes.
consider them real boxers because you got to put blood, sweat, and tears in the sport. And nothing wrong with YouTube fighters, but when it comes to being a real boxer, it's sacrifice. It takes years. It's not something you just pick up and you become great at. So I respect the real fighters, and the YouTube fighters who are doing their thing. It ain't nothing wrong with it, but I don't put them in the same category as someone like myself, or somebody who really put the time in, the years in. They compete at a national level. They got a USA boxing book, and they compete, and not
Absolutely.
outside of the ring, but in USA boxing. That's when you're official.
Most definitely. Now, and this is my last question. I know you got to go. We appreciate you for stopping through early this morning. We know you're busy, you're training, everything going on with you. But as we continue to see the successful athletes coming out of Rochester, New York, in every field, from basketball, football, boxing, so many fields, what can you say about the athletes in Rochester and just Rochester athletics, and how that's going to the next level?
It's actually a lot of great fighters here, and I feel like Rochester fighters not getting the shine. We got Javi Mitchell, we got Finest Cummins, we got Messiah. We got a lot of good fighters, upcoming fighters here. That's young, that's skilled, that's number one. We got Dustin Jimenez, who on Team USA. And it's not being talked about, but it's a big thing and it's a big deal to fight at a national level and to win, because it's not hard. You got to cut weight. You fight more than once in a week. And we also got Harley, another young upcoming fighter. Very talented, very skillful. And it's a lot of talent here that don't get the shine. So this Blue Cross Arena card, y'all will have the chance to be able to see some of those fighters, and I think everyone should pop out and come. And I'm praying I get an opponent. It's kind of hard to get me matched up with my experience, but they're still looking, so you never know. And I just can't wait to see like boxing to continue to go up, even in the boxing community in Rochester.
Absolutely. We thank you for joining us on the Real Deal Sports Show. We're excited to see your career just continue to ascend. And, the Olympics is right around the corner for you. I know
Yeah.
you are in LA.
Yes.
Keep it at home. I know that's right. Appreciate you. Thank you for joining
Thank
us.
you. Bye.
Yes, you heard it here. I mean, the talent in Rochester is just continuing to ascend. As we said, we got so much talent here. We're excited. We can't wait for the Real Deal Sports Show to cover that card at the Blue Cross Arena. There's going to be a lot going on. So much going on, fellas. How y'all feeling after that great interview with Algeria Johnson?
Very nice. I like your comments on the YouTubers. So the YouTubers are, as we all thought, they're not the real boxers. They're not the real athletes who put in the time. I was thinking the same thing. They don't put in the time, the effort, and they come out here and talk, and then they want to get all of a sudden trained real quick and get in the ring or something. That's not how it's done. And I'm glad you got the imposters from the real boxers. Right, bro. Talk.
Oh, absolutely. So the reality is anybody that commits years to a craft, the real will recognize the real. You know what I mean? And it separates after a while too. They say cream rises to the top. and this is no knock to the man, but the brother that was like the internet sensation, knocking out everybody, you know, some years back on YouTube, and then ended up in the UFC.
Talking about Kimbo?
Kimbo Slice, yeah.
God bless the day.
Yeah, you know, and that's why I was kind of not gonna say his name because he is deceased, but you know, it's all good. Kimbo was out there destroying guys on the internet, and then when he got into the ring and saw that it's a totally different discipline, he got in that octagon and saw that, you know, yeah, you can knock guys out in the street, but it's different when you got to get in the ring or in that octagon. So, you know, I respect people who understand, like, yo, there's a lot of dedication that it takes to be great at whatever it is you decide to do.
Absolutely, guys. Absolutely. In the next segment, Challenger Community News, Western New York's largest weekly African-American newspaper. Pick up Challenger Community News at most businesses in the community, or you also can pick it up online. Check it out online. Buff, BUFF, BuffChowNews.com. Check out the Challenger newspaper online. Got a lot of great articles in it this week. Got a lot, as always. Check it out. Our Nisa Barbara Banks is doing an outstanding job with Challenger Community News. And keep in mind, check our website out, RealDealSportsShow.com. Kimmy does it best. Happy belated birthday to Kimmy. She's done a great job and continues to do a great job with our website. Kimmy does it best. Website design and ongoing maintenance. Kimmy can help your business grow, online growth. Visit KimmyDoesItBest.com. Contact her, support at KimmyDoesItBest.com. Check her out. Check out our website. Hey, we're walking example of the quality work that she can do for you. Just the way she's done for us. A lot of people hitting our website, RealDealSportsShow.com. And thank you for continuing to like our show as well.
And she has a promotion going on, I think, for the month of May, web maintenance. So hit her up. She's been sending that out. She's got a new promotion going on, KimmyDoesItBest.com. Check it out. You could probably get a discounted price to get your new website back going.
Oh, that's right. And while we at it, you get your website together. Then if you're going out for dinner, I know prices are high, but hey, we got some good restaurants for you to check out. And I know my friend here, we all like to, you know what we like to experience. Right, bro? Talk what we like to experience, Bilal.
Listen, we want that award-winning, authentic Indian food in a warm and inviting atmosphere. Talia of India with the lunch buffet, 11:30 to 2 p.m. and dinner 4:40 to 8:30, 3259 the South Winton Road in the Winjeff Plaza. Listen, it seems like every week I tell Radman, yo, listen, we go. I'm gonna join you. You got to hit me up. And Radman says, man, I'm going to get me lunch, or I'm hitting it up after Sunday. But one of these days, he gonna remember to call me because he know I'm trying to enjoy some of that food too.
Exactly. I think maybe tomorrow. I think I'll catch you before leave church tomorrow. I'll give you that phone might be ringing.
All right, I'm gonna have that phone ringer ready.
Absolutely. And last but not least, Food for the Soul, Jamaican Soul Restaurant, 211 Genesee Street, featuring Soul Food Sundays, open noon to 9 p.m. on Sundays and 11 a.m. to 9 p.m. Tuesday through Saturday. Check out some of the best Jamaican food in Rochester, New York. And they throw it down at Jamaican Soul. And then on the Soul Food Sundays, oh, man, you got the wings, turkey wings, the whole 9 yards. Don't be surprised. Stop on in there. Check out Soul Food Sundays, open noon to 9 p.m. on Sunday, 11 a.m. to 9 p.m. Tuesday through Saturday. Check out those. Really support our fine advertising. We thank them so much for supporting Real Deal Sports Show. Yes, indeed. And we're going to go to our next guest. Don Patterson from Golden Gloves is about to come on and join us now. Mr. Don Patterson got a lot to tell us about an excellent Golden Gloves card that he has coming up in Buffalo, New York tomorrow. Welcome back to Real Deal Sports Show, Don. How you doing this morning?
I'm doing great. Thanks for having me. Great to see you guys again. You guys always putting on a good show. I got an opportunity to see the interview before this. You had one of our stars on the show, Algeria Johnson. Great kid, great representation of what amateur boxing can do. Because you guys are having her on. She's one of our championship hopefuls. She's a multi-time national champion.
Wow.
As she explained to you guys, this is no easy task. The work she puts in and the results she has is worthy of acknowledging and praise for her effort, and she's a great example to our young people out there.
He ain't lying.
Absolutely. Go ahead, Jake. Go ahead. Someone had a question?
Yeah. She mentioned that it's kind of tough to find an opponent for for the upcoming card, and I thought to myself, I was like, yeah, I don't know too many people that would be looking to get into the ring with her, but can you kind of speak? You kind of touched on a little bit in terms of the work she's put in and her success, but how that success sometimes can now make it challenging to find an opponent.
Yeah. So what happens is, these kids start out at a young age and they gain experience, and over time, those who rise to the top of the cream of the crop and become an elite athlete. And that's what I was saying. People don't realize the work, the level of commitment that it takes to get to that level. There's not a lot of people around for her to compete with. People may get into it, but they're not at her level. We'll have a couple of female fights. But Algeria is at the elite level, at the national, international competition level. And at that point, as you guys know, because you guys watch sports, right? So when you talk about somebody is at the Olympic level, is at the international level, these are elite athletes and they're nobody to play with. And unless you on top of your game, you got that type of experience, you're not going to get in there with them. And so Algeria is at that level, so it's very hard to find her opponents now. The people that are going to fight her are people on the cusp of that level that are entering tournaments like this, like the Golden Gloves, which in the open class division, that's what you have at the elite level, at the open class level. You have experienced fighters that are fighting for a chance to make history in the Golden Gloves, and they're the elite. She just came, I believe, from a national tournament that she won. So this is so in this area, there's 30 different franchises across the United States. And so when we go to the nationals, you'll have the 30 top people out of those areas in the country vying for that. So these are the same people that will be your Olympians, etc. And that's the level she fights on. So locally, it's not easy to get a fight for her.
Wow. So Don, one last thing on Algeria. So it sounds like she has a real good chance of a real good opportunity of making the Olympic team.
She went to the she's one of the top amateur boxers in our country. She's a world-class fighter. And she went to the championship last year. She's won it previous years, but the previous year before that. It was a close fight last year. I thought she very well could have got the decision. We didn't get it, but that's what it is at that level. Sometimes it goes your way, sometimes it doesn't. But yeah, she has a definite good chance. She can compete with anybody in the world in her her weight class.
Excellent. Oh, excellent. What you have? You have a big card coming up tomorrow. What's going on?
We have the Golden Glove Championships. This is the finals. We'll have the best kids in the state from the Adirondack region up and through the Pennsylvania line. We'll be here tomorrow. We have about 20 championship fights. So these are dwindled down to the best of the best in their categories. 10 of those fights will be open class fights, and the winners of those will advance to the Nationals in Tulsa, Oklahoma, May 9th. So the same skill set that I talked about Algeria has, we'll have 10 of those fights tomorrow here in Buffalo. You guys need to come on up and check it out. It's going to be some great fights, and it'll also be actually streamed online on millions.co as well as a pay-per-view event for those of you who can't make it to the venue. But Riverworks is a great venue. Go online. You can go to Don P131, my Instagram, or the Buffalo Golden Glove Facebook page, and it has all the information. And there's going to be some great fights.
Good job, my brother. We rocking with you.
All right.
What time does it start tomorrow?
We start at 3:00. Doors open at 2:30. We have about 22 fights lined up. Some of the people that Algeria mentioned will be fighting tomorrow. Finest Cummings, a lightweight that's an up and comer, has won national titles as was an elite junior fighter. Is now moving into the men ranks, the Golden Glove ranks, 18 to 40, and he's somebody that I think has a great opportunity to be successful and represent us well. He's in a tough fight. It's a 50. It can go either way. He's fighting somebody who's been here before, who has experience. So this is what's happening tomorrow. Going to be great fights, and all these guys are going to give their all because they want history. They want to be in the record books with Muhammad Ali, Sugar Ray Leonard, Sugar Ray Robinson, and say that I'm a Golden Glove champion. That's what it's all about.
Beautiful. Questions, guys?
Mr. Patterson,
Sir.
Algeria, she talked about, the people that you just named, a lot of the people in the program, but the lack of recognition that they're getting. What is it that can be done just to bolster their profiles? Get sponsors, or do these any of these athletes have managers or agents that are putting them in those positions, or what is the what should be done about that?
If I may, before I say that, last time I was on here, I spoke about one of the most important people in amateur boxing in youth development from Rochester, New York, Don Simpkin, who we lost a couple of weeks ago after a short bout with major illness. And I just want to say, people like him is what makes the world a better place. Don was committed to the youth of Rochester, of New York, of Western New York. He was the foundation of this boxing program. And I was fortunate enough to make it to the memorial service. Running late, there was an accident on the thruway, and I was running late. I got there, and it was so pleasing to see. There was a couple of hundred people, and this was without any promotion. A lot of people didn't know, but this is the impact that he had. There was about 4 generations of Rochester boxers from the inner city, from Baden Street, and they were there because of the impact that he had on their lives. And so I want to say that he was the key component in the amateur boxing world. He gave so many of those kids guidance and opportunity, and may he rest in peace. May God have mercy upon his soul and grant him paradise. And we know that his work wasn't in vain because of what you see in an Algeria Johnson. I know you guys know Charles Murray, world champion. All of them came under Don Simpkin and the program that he started, as well as what we do in Buffalo now. So I just don't want to leave here and not acknowledge the work that he's done, and let people know that we're going to continue it and the impact he had on the people here. And that's what the amateur boxing is about. Forgive me for taking that moment, but I felt it was really necessary, because the people who you're asking about, the people of how do people build their brand and those things, there'll be no brand without the Don Simpkins who takes an 8-year-old who may not be doing well in school and what have you, and says, here, I got something for you to do that's positive. And now also we're going to make sure that you do your work and all those other things. So that's the impact that amateur boxing has,
Message.
There you go. As far as the exposure and the recognition for amateur boxing, you see it happening now because you have social media. It's happening throughout. And so that's one thing that you see happen. As far as handlers and managers, you have coaches at the amateur level. It's not the professional level where people are looking for a return on their investment. The return that you get from the amateurs is that at the end of the day, you've made somebody's life better. Like I just talked about at Don Simpkin. But, there's social media where you see USA Boxing now promoting it. We're all utilizing the Golden Gloves and all that to get it out there so that people know what's going on. As far as sponsors, what you guys are doing is great. You're giving our sport, our activity, our young people exposure. And when people look and see what's going on, then they'll come to it. They'll come to it and hopefully support it because it's positive and has an impact not only on the community, but it has an impact on businesses. It has everything. When we do our Golden Glove tournament, we'll have a few hundred people that are coming into that little area of Buffalo that are going to look to eat, hotel rooms, and what have you. So, and then magnified on a national level. And what's going on in Rochester, April 25th, where you have the big fight coming on with Savage Life Promotions, Derek Gramlin, and those other people in Buffalo. The show that they're going to put on is going to be a great event. And I want all the people to come out for that. He'll be having amateurs and pros on the show. And it's basically a comeback to the historic upstate regional impact that boxing has been. Like I said earlier, you had Charles Murray, who was a world champion from your area. And nobody, can basically downgrade the level of competition that we have here. The Golden Gloves has had about 7 national champions in the last 5 years, Algeria being one of them. So that's the level, the elite level that you develop in this area. So it's worth coming out.
So that people can see your Instagram, so that people can see that ceremony, Don Simpkins. You put something up on Facebook as well as Instagram. How can people see that?
Sure. My Instagram is Don P131, and my Facebook is Don Patterson. There's also a Buffalo Golden Glove Instagram, and so all the things I'm talking about now are posted up there. So any information that you're looking for, if you want to get tickets and you're in Buffalo, you can go to Doris Records, as you guys are familiar with, and get it. And what's happening with the Challenger, and I'm just happy to see the growth of your program. And I'm hearing all the sponsors and restaurants, and I'll be going to those restaurants when I come to Rochester.
All right.
The ones that support you, that's who I'm going to support. So keep doing what you're doing.
Absolutely. One last time. Tomorrow it starts at doors open. What's the address of the Riverworks? What's the address of the
359 Ganson Street. I'm sorry, in downtown Buffalo. Buffalo Riverworks, a fabulous venue. There's not a bad seat in the house. Great food. It's going to be a great event. Great people, and so you can get tickets online at ticketsweb.com. You can get tickets at the door, as well as will be streamed live pay-per-view on million.com tomorrow for the first time. We got the finals because people have been asking, where can I see it? Because I can't make it. So now we finally made that shift, and you'll be able to get it anywhere in the country, anywhere in the world through millions.com. So we look forward to a great event tomorrow. And if you guys are available, take that ride up to 90 and come see us, man. I got some special seats waiting for y'all, man.
All right. Oh, man. I think I'll have to make it tomorrow. We might just have to make it up there tomorrow.
Sound like a plan right there. That
Come on
don't
up,
sound
George.
too
You got
bad.
family to come see anyway.
Yeah, you certainly do. You do it. Tell Mr. Mayo, one of my favorites, 96 years young. Tell him we said hello. Definitely be seeing him and calling him real soon as well.
I definitely will come up and get a game of dominoes in with us. He's been whooping us pretty bad.
Yeah, I know you guys serious with those dominoes, man. I get my game right, man. But thank you for coming on Real Deal Sports Show, and hopefully we'll see you tomorrow. And good luck. And I know you're gonna have a fantastic event tomorrow afternoon. Thank
you for having me, and keep up the great work. Appreciate you.
All right, gentlemen, as we continue to wrap up here today's show, we are very interesting happening in sports. We have a few interesting comments going on with the the New England way, the Patriots way. What's going on with Mike Vrabel? He's supposed to be at the NFL meetings, man. The coaches, all the coaches were speaking down there in Arizona. He done tiptoed, a couple hours away, and I don't know who took those pictures, man. That sounds like Jim Rockford or one of those private detectives, man. Man, that camera angle was way, you could tell the camera was way away. It wasn't right up on him. The person had to be a little bit away taking pictures like that. And then some overhead shots too. Oh man, that's Jim Rockford or somebody, man. One of those PIs, man. And him and allegedly that was Deanna Rossini. We see
Diana Rossini, huh? ESPN.
Yeah. Oh man, what's going on? Is that the Patriots way, Bilal? I didn't know they. I guess the owner got.
I wonder if she was breaking so much Patriots news over the season.
Yeah.
Listen. Apparently it is. I mean, because Robert Kraft done had his moment. Now, coach, you know what I mean. So Belichick had his moment. Like the Patriot way is got a whole new meaning to it.
Yeah, exactly. Got a whole new meaning to it with the way I guess that's how they get down up there in New England, man. Once they get success, they just success, man. They go off with it. And I don't know, with Diana Rossini, doesn't that kind of dampen her news perspective and so forth, especially for NFL coverage?
It says unethical,
No, not unethical. Well,
but to your point, and I think Radman has a great point there. It, not only does it impact or reflect negatively on her career, and that's not to say that this is how she's made her career or made her living in terms of advancing the name. But when you look at it in a broader context, that's what will be said. That's what people will remember is if she did it in this situation, what other situations may she have, used her feminine wiles to advance her career? And that, I mean, we've heard it about Kamala Harris. People have, you still have people dragging her name, and saying that's how she made, a name for herself. So I think it's unfortunate because it stains the work that women who've worked hard to advance their careers, what it does for them, how it negatively reflects on the whole and not just the individual.
Essentially means to me, if you're a public figure of that size, you have to be aware that the camera's going to be on to you at all times, and you have to be professional. Because he even said that a quote there from Mike Vrabel saying these photos show a completely innocent interaction, and any suggestion otherwise is laughable. And I can end up seeing both sides. But one thing I do believe, when you interlock those fingers, I was like, hey, man, that means you locked in. This wasn't a good look, man. Eventually, we won't ultimately will know, but it definitely wasn't a bad look. But something about that Patriot way, man, the owner, Diggs, they like to do something a little spicy.
Absolutely. It's a whole different way. Definitely. Right, DJ Sean Touch, come on in the Patriot way.
Hey, man, before Sean Touch come in, man, go blue. Shout out to the Michigan Wolverines for winning the national title this past Monday. Go blue. Hail to the victors.
Yes, sir.
Absolutely. We got to give it up to them as definitely national champions. And look like they're keeping some of their players, too. Some of their players are coming back. Yes, indeed. Like, subscribe to the show. Check us out each week, Real Deal Sports Show. We're coming to you live each week. We're giving it to you. Hey, we're not talking about what we heard. We're talking about what we know. So hit the button, like and subscribe, and stream the show. And if you can get out to Buffalo tomorrow, check out that Golden Gloves card. That's going to be a great event. And then in Rochester, April 25th, a great boxing card down at the Blue Cross Arena. So you got some great boxing here during the month of April here in Western New York, y'all. Right. Take care, DJ Sean Touch. Thank you guys all for on the show this week. And we'll be back next week. Hit like, subscribe, Real Deal Sports Show. We'll catch you next week. Take care.